Host, have you ever thought about it? A single thought, a tiny wish, just how much power does it truly have? It can be so vast that it spans multiple lifetimes, completely determining your future destiny. Today, we're going to tell an incredibly cool ancient story to see how simple, Virtuous vow eventually blossoms into an unimaginable result. Guessed, this might sound a bit mystical, right? But don't be in a hurry to judge. This is the core of what we're discussing today. Just how staggering the power of a vow can be when it stretches across several lifetimes. Host, alright, let's jump straight into the story. The protagonist is named Nutmeg Yatica. Even her birth was filled with extraordinary auspicious signs. You could say she came with her own miracle special effects. The story takes place a long time ago in the city of Shrbasta. There was an incredibly wealthy couple who lacked nothing in life. Except for one thing, they had no children. This became the greatest regret in their hearts. Guessed, so they prayed with great sincerity, hoping for a child. And guess what? The moment their child was finally born, it was incredible. A strange, wondrous fragrance filled the entire room. Inside and out, even more exaggeration, nutmeg flowers actually started raining down from the sky. It was miraculous. Naturally, her parents named her Nutmeg. Host, however, this child's destiny was actually tied to a sacred promise made even before she was born. Let's see how that promise came about and how it was fulfilled. Guessed, it turns out that while Nutmeg's mother was pregnant, a saint named Anarita happened to come to their house to seek alms. This saint asked the father, "Could you help me find an attendant?" The father agreed immediately without a second thought. He said, "No problem. If my wife gives birth to a son this time, I will let him become your attendant when he grows up." Host, fast forward, Nutmeg grew up, becoming exceptionally learned and mastering all kinds of knowledge. At that point, the venerable Anarita actually showed up to remind them of that pre-birth agreement. And Nutmeg, not only did she not hesitate for a second, but she was also overjoyed and agreed instantly. It was as if this was her natural destiny. Guessed, so she followed the venerable one to become a monk and practice. From there, everything went even smoother. She received the Buddha's teachings and, before long, actually attained the stage of the Arhat, the realm of a fully liberated soul. Host, now, that's strange, isn't it? Why was her path of practice so smooth? It's as if she was playing life with cheat codes. There must be a reason behind this. Guessed, exactly. To find the answer and understand why she had such immense blessings in this life, we have to step into a time machine and go back to a very distant past to see what seed she originally planted. You see, this thread of cause and effect is incredibly long. It started in the era of Kassapa Buddha, stretched through the era of Shakyamuni Buddha that we are familiar with, and finally, the fruit fully ripened and manifested in Nutmeg. Host, it turns out that in the distant past, Nutmeg was also a practitioner. She was already quite advanced back then, mastered in the Dharma, and often used her own possessions to make offerings to other monastics. She even built a stupa for the hair and nails of Kassapa Buddha. She frequently used beautiful flowers to make offerings at this stupa, and she especially loved using, you guessed it, nutmeg flowers. Guessed, but here comes the most critical step. Every time she made an offering, she held a very specific wish in her heart. This is the essence of the whole story. Look at the comparison between the vow she made back then and what happened in this life. It's a perfect correspondence. Host, may I be born into a wealthy family. And she truly was born to wealthy parents. May flowers rain from the sky when I am born, and it truly rained nutmeg flowers. May I attain the holy fruit, and she truly became an arhat. It's almost like a pre-written script being fulfilled with precision. One by one, this is the inconceivable power of making a vow. Guessed, now that we've heard the story, we should all see the core law here. Your intentions, especially virtuous ones, are what shape our future step by step. So, what exactly is a virtuous vow? Shan Yuan. Host, it's not some wild, random fantasy. It's not something that happens just because you're lying in bed daydreaming. It's more like a formula, taking a conscious, positive thought and binding it to a specific virtuous action. For example, if you offer a flower, the act itself is like a seed, but the wish in your heart, that's like setting the GPS for that seed, telling it exactly what kind of flower to bloom and what kind of fruit to bear in the future. Guessed, however, there's one concept here that is very Very important to get straight. Many people might feel that making a vow that is too big, like I wish to help all living beings, sounds like bragging or being unrealistic. Host, the scriptures tell us, never, ever think that way. If you think like that, it means you don't quite understand cause and effect yet. Think about it, the vow is the cause, and the fulfillment is the fruit. Between planting the seed and harvesting the fruit, time is required, right? Guessed, exactly. Now that we understand the principle, the most important thing is what do we do? Let's look at how to turn this ancient wisdom into specific steps we can execute in our everyday lives. Host, the process is actually quite simple just for steps. First, start with a tiny virtuous act. Even offering a single vow or saying a kind word counts. Second, at the moment you do this, have your wish clearly in mind. Third, try to raise the scale of your wish connected to a grander, more selfless goal. And finally, the most important, don't be afraid. Dare to make a great vow. Guest, there's a great story about this. A student once shyly said he had a wish to save all sentient beings, but he felt like he was just talking big. You know how the master replied? The master said, "This is the path all Buddhas have walked. How could I dare say you are wrong?" What a powerful answer. It tells us that as long as your vow is virtuous, it is never talking big. It is following in the footsteps of those who came before. Host, so, everyone should be filled with hope. Because the Dharma doesn't just teach us the method, it also gives us a very, very certain guarantee. The scriptures mention that anyone who strives under the teachings of Shakyamuni Buddha, even if you don't seem to achieve much in this life at the very latest, when Maitreya Buddha attains enlightenment in the future, you will certainly attain liberation. Guest, it's like a super tranquilizer for the heart, telling us, don't worry. As long as you start on this path, you will eventually reach the finish line. Host, so here is the key. Let the mistakes of the past stay in the past. Starting today, starting right now, stop making excuses for yourself. We hold the initiative. We can recalibrate and set the direction of our future by making virtuous vows. Guest, think about the story of nutmeg. A simple thought, bound to a tiny virtuous act, could travel through time and space to bloom into such a beautiful flower and bear such sweet fruit. What about you? Host, your words and your thoughts are full of power. From today on, what kind of future will you choose to create for yourself and for this world?